Come join me here in Idaho. It was once called a weird and scenic landscape, peculiar to itself. Today it's part of one of the most remarkable national parks in the country. More than 750,000 acres of jagged lava rocks and sagebrush. Strange and mysterious, it feels like another world. For generations it was mostly unknown and unexplored. But today, this land has become something special, a place of discovery, where everyday travelers, scientists, and even NASA astronauts all come to find out more about our planet, here among the craters of the moon. A little over 120 miles from Yellowstone is the Eagle Flies. Craters of the Moon is the scene of a series of 60 lava flows ranging from 2,000 to 15,000 years old. You can see the remnants of these lava flows in lava tubes and caves, the rare spatter cones, and several cinder cones. It also has a 53-mile-long rift in the Earth's surface, which can get up to 600 feet deep, called the Great Rift and King's Bowl. The park itself is about 1,100 square miles, but most people stay along the 7-mile loop road. That's the easiest spots to get to. So let's look around here and start over at the spatter cones. Lots of good signs all over the trails out there, and this is just one of them.
Hi, and welcome to Craters of the Moon National Monument. We have 8 major eruptive episodes here spanning about 15,000 years, and we also have about 25 volcanoes here. And right behind me you can see one type of them, known as a spatter cone. These are some of the rarest volcanic features found anywhere in the world, and also are associated with some of the youngest land found anywhere in the world, about 2,000 years old. Spatter cones are usually formed about 3 to 16 feet tall. However, in this case, you can see that some of these are very large, about 75 feet tall. And what happens is, as a volcano is dying, it starts coughing up that lava as big, large chunks, not very flowy. And they start to pile up on each other, creating a cone. And it's kind of like a texture like taffy. But taffy is good to eat. These rocks, probably not so good. So as you can see, these are some of the rarest volcanic features you will find anywhere on the planet. So when you plan your trip here, remember to stop by spatter cones and check them out. I promise you, you'll love it. And remember, the floor is always lava at Craters of the Moon.
Like a sense of humor. All right, up the Spatter Cone Trail. It's not too bad, fairly short, about 550 feet round trip, and not too steep, maybe about a 24-foot elevation gain, according to the sign there. And this is what it looks like as you come up to the actual vent itself, or the throat of the volcano, the spatter cone. Fenced off there so you don't fall in. These rocks, a bit bumpy. Could hurt yourself if you hit it. But volcano was flopping up out of there not too long ago. This is what it looks like from overhead. And as you leave, if you look over to the right-hand side as you're walking back out, look at these hollow spots in the rocks out here. Just spattered around, not splatter, but spatter, and left these interesting shapes. Another spot to go to is the North Crater Trail. And here you can see the ranger leading some folks along, gives you an idea. This is a much bigger spot. This is a cinder cone. This is what most of the volcanoes are there. There's 25 volcanoes out there. Most of them are cinder cones. Those are the most common. You see, fairly deep. A little bit rough to try and hike up the sides of these things. They crumble underneath your feet. In fact, they used to tracks at a lot of schools were made from cinders. So let's look at other volcanoes, lava tubes, and caves. These are some of the other Very interesting sights out there, looking at it from overhead. Different colors as well, depending on the makeup. And there are 5 different caves that visitors can go through. One of the favorites is Indian Tunnel, this one you see right here. For all sorts of visitors, from seniors to school children, another kind of adventure begins here. You're standing upon the last lava flow that came through about 2,000 years ago. And there are 5 lava tube caves to explore, some of them miles long. It's coming out. And these are my photos from inside Indian Tunnel in 1988. Been there a couple times. Some other really nice photos from some other folks here. Bureau of Land Management. And this is Matthew Dillon. The Great Rift, Ice Caves, and the King's Bowl. Some adventures, well, not everybody goes on. In a remote section of the preserve is a team of caving experts is heading out on a journey into the heart of the Great Rift. And no, this is not Africa, this is Idaho. Now, this is not for the faint of heart. I've done some caving before, and it takes some effort. The team is climbing down into the darkness here to investigate important data deep inside the rift itself. Some areas in here can get 600 feet deep. Just 2,000 years ago, searing lava was shooting through the fissure right here all the way up to the surface. Now, instead of fire, it's all ice. Look on the right-hand side there. It's a cathedral of ice with giant crystals of ice. Some of them are 50 feet high. Temperatures stay fairly constant down here. So here are lots of photos of a wide variety of things. Astronauts came out here to do training in 1969. Mostly Apollo 14 crew, but several of them came out. Alan Shepard, Joe Engle, Gene Cernan, Edgar Mitchell. They came back in 1999 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the park. There's Gene Cernan. I worked on his flight at NASA. And these are some photos from caves, or the tunnels, lava tubes. These are not all mine, lots of different sources here. If you look at the very bottom part down below the description section, I give credit to everybody. And you'll also find some really good links down there. By the way, I appreciate if you click on the like or share buttons. Put a lot of effort into these. It's nice when other people get to see it. Some of those postcards there were from 1920, 1924, which is when the park first started. Shoshone Bannocks lived in the area before. They didn't do too much stuff here. They did some things. All right, now some flowers. Do have names for almost all of these. Now this is a desert area. It gets down to, quite a bit below zero during the winter time. In fact, it gets down to about minus 37 as a record, up to about 100 degrees. So it's a pretty wide-ranging temperature here. They do get snow. You'll see some pictures later on. Love those Indian paintbrushes. Reminds me of Texas and Oklahoma. The elevation is around 5,900 on average. Gets about 250,000 visitors a year. There's about 750 plant species, by the way. And this is all in the eastern Snake River Plains. All right, some of the animals. That cat-faced spider, that's interesting. If you're interested in geology, there's been a hot spot. The hot spot created the Hawaiian island chains. It's a spot where as the earth moves, the plates move, the spot below it sort of stays stable. Well, the hot spot that created Yellowstone is the end of the spot, and it was much further to the west, or as the North American plate drifted toward the west, it kept moving to the east. Fox is out there. It's an amazing bird there. Those are bald eagles. This is the winter time, and it gets several inches of snow a year. Look at that. Outside the door, the snow's backed up. Almost completely covered the doors. There you go. And the snow plows come through, so you got to check it before you go out there. This is a pretty desolate area. It's some beautiful skies. Some beautiful views here. Some of these pictures here are from Visit Idaho. Thank you very much. Comets out there. This is a dark sky area, so you can come out there and see some excellent skies, and that's a sky party. Just beautiful scenery, though, at times. And these are just some general photos I've got. I happen to like volcanoes and the caves, but I like traveling too. A lot of trails out there are relatively easy. These are not super high peaks. Some of them take some effort. They do have a fair amount of trails, though. That's Pahoehoe. They have two different kinds of main types of lava, A'a and Pahoehoe. Pahoehoe is the ropey kind, and the A'a is the jaggedy. But short of going to Hawaii, this is one of the best spots you can see for a wide variety of lava. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please feel free to make comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And if you like this video, please click on the thumbs up button below. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the circle with my picture in it in the lower right-hand corner of the video. The arrow is pointing at it now. And once you have subscribed, you can be notified of when I have a new video posted by clicking on the bell icon in the description field below the video. Thanks again for watching.